There have been many proposed solutions to solving the sexist nature of school dress codes. The three most effective solutions would either be to implement uniforms, focus more on student education and less on clothing, or revise the current policies. Implementing uniforms is a great solution because it would create a more inclusive environment and remove the sexism. By requiring students to wear uniforms, it removes the ability to excuse young men's actions by blaming educational distractions on the fashion choices of young women. Not only will this increased uniformity decrease the number of young women being singled out for wearing clothes the school deems inappropriate, but they would also improve the overall school environment. According to the article School Uniforms and Safety by Sue Stanley, 2 years after mandatory implementation of school uniforms in a Long Beach, California school district, reports of assault and battery within the school decreased by 34%, assault with a deadly weapon dropped by 50%, incidents of fighting went down by 51%, and sex offenses decreased by 74%. Shifting the focus from student dress code to education is another valid solution. Encouraging teachers to focus less on student dress code and more on education forces a shift of focus from policing student dress to learning. By not allowing the excuse of distraction for poor student performance, the sexist nature of dress codes is reduced. Focusing more on education as opposed to the length of a young girl's skirt lets these young women know that they are not responsible for the actions of others and shouldn't have to police themselves in order to avoid distracting young men and teachers. In a research brief, Howard Johnson, a professor at the University of South Florida, points out the fact that when students who are seen to be in violation of dress codes are either sent home or placed in isolation, it negatively affects education opportunities and overall student performance. Revising the student dress code is also the third valid option. By revising current dress code policies, schools can maintain their current standards, but adjust certain stipulations to maintain gender equality and avoid sexism in regard to female students. A modified dress code would ultimately be one in which students are told what they can wear as opposed to what they can't. An article in the Tampa Bay Times discusses implementation of a modified dress code in Pinellas schools in which students would be required to wear collared shirts with sleeves and belts for pants with loops, instead of being told that they can't wear baggy pants and spaghetti straps. Implementing this kind of dress code would also help to remove the ambiguity behind certain dress code stipulations as seen in Austin, Texas High School Code of Conduct, which states that students may not wear improperly fitting clothing that seem to be overly tight. By this statement, the fit of the clothing is up to interpretation in which one person may deem it appropriate and another person may not. Furthermore, this code mainly targets young women and those who are more overweight, thus reinforcing the sexist and discriminatory nature of current dress code policies.